This is KC Sports Tonight.
There we are.
And away we go. It's Friday, sort of a holiday weekend-ish Friday, kind of wedged in between July 4th and Saturday, Sunday, because that's how it works. Good to have you along with us on this getaway day. I guess we'll call it the gateway to the weekend getaway day. Scott Reiss, Marleah Campbell, hanging out in our KCTV5 studios. This is KC Sports Tonight, and we've got sports to talk about because it's in the title. But before we get to sports, let's go back to that whole holiday weekend thing, because you had a big July 4th yesterday with the KCTV5 crew.
It was busy, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I think I heard our anchors mention we were guesstimating about 75,000 people there, plus people watching on KCTV5. We streamed the fireworks show over there at the World War I Museum. And it was really cool. It was a ton of fun. I think a lot of folks were watching, especially this year, because so many of them got canceled in different parts of town. So we had wonderful weather. I've lived in Kansas City my entire life. I went to Wyoming for 4 years for college, but I'd come back for every 4th of July. We get a couple of weeks off from basketball to come back over the summer. And this is hands down the nicest weather 4th of July I have ever seen in Kansas. Usually it's like swelteringly miserably
Last
hot.
year was that.
Yes. It was beautiful yesterday. We had so much fun. People are having such a good time. So many like local vendors and people laying out picnics and bringing their dogs. And the fireworks show was spectacular. It went on like 25-30 minutes or something. The finale was amazing. It was just a great night. It was so much fun. So I'm sorry that you missed out. What did you do on the 4th?
Yeah, the dog thing mystifies me because
your dog
my
especially.
dog,
yeah,
like July 4th is without question her worst nightmare.
Well, she doesn't like any noise, right?
No, doesn't like thunder. She's a California dog. She does not understand the goings on here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And we had a ton of questionably legal fireworks shows in our complex. I mean, look, there was some cool stuff, don't get me wrong, visually, but not good for poor Riley. And we didn't do much. I had the day off, so I hung out with the fam. We had pizza. It was all fine and dandy. But I think that my wife was afraid to endorse us going out and doing anything because we had to stay home to make sure the dog was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's too bad because it takes away from what otherwise was an awesome.
Well, I've known that your dog, is kind of anxious anyway, and then I cannot imagine on the 4th. But actually, there were a lot of dogs there, so it was just a really fun day. Neil Jones and I were partnered up. We were kind of doing each other's camera work and doing live shots throughout the day. So we went live from 3:30 till 10:30 p.m. I mean, we're just constantly talking to people.
And what is better than 7 hours with Neil Jones?
Yeah, he's right.
I can think of nothing.
Come on over. I don't know if it was worth for me or Neil, but we had a really good time. Got to talk to a bunch of folks, so that was a lot of fun. And again, the fireworks show is just so good. And then you add in the backdrop of the World War I Museum, and that being in Kansas City.
Sure.
Scott, have you been there yet? Have you made your way over there yet?
It's awesome.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great.
If you haven't been on, I mean, the
really
outside
great.
is beautiful, and then the inside. Every time you walk over the poppies in the front, it's like
so cool,
breathtaking.
Yeah. In fact, that was no, it wasn't July 4th. It was the draft.
Yeah.
Where we had weather one evening, so we had to sort of at the last minute ditch our vantage point outside, and actually, I did one of our KC Sports Tonight shows on the the glass over the poppies, like right in that spot, and it's just it's phenomenal. So cool. Yeah.
So to have the 4th of July backdrop there was really special. And again, perfect weather. We had so many people come down and just got to hang out with the KCTV5 crew all day, which is fun in its own. We got to meet some folks who watch the shows, and so I had a great time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Excellent. Well, now happy July 5th.
Yeah, I think that's tough for a lot of folks to get the 4th off and then come back to work for the 5th and then get your weekend again. But hey, we got a lot to talk
here.
about. Yeah, for someone.
Present. No, I'm having fun being here, and then even more fun when I take the weekend off and then go to Vegas for 3 days next week. So this is my last
That
go
would have been a
until,
perfect segue to talk about our last time we were in Vegas. But
that's that. It would have. That was vetoed, sadly, because the 145 day anniversary of the Super Bowl just didn't make it.
I did the math before this. It has been exactly 145 days since the Super Bowl. Who's counting though? And training camp, rookies and quarterbacks report in 11 days.
Yeah, everybody's counting that.
Yeah.
But it is still baseball season, and the Royals finished up their 10-game homestand. I had put 7-3 as the goal for said homestand. They fell a bit short, losing yesterday in a crazy offensive slugfest, which we haven't really seen much of from this team lately. But they finished 6-4. So, I think given it's one game, 6-4 is nothing to, hang your head over. But you'd won the first two series. It would have been great to have won all three series, especially when you had the Rays, a team that's nipping at your heels in the wild card race. So at this moment now, Kansas City a half game behind the red-hot Red Sox for the third and final American League wild card spot. They will go to Boston next weekend, so that's something to look forward to. But first things first, a mile high tonight. You go to the rarefied air of Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Everybody loves hitting in Denver, Colorado. So, Marleah, you figure a team which seemed to get right offensively yesterday. They won they won the previous day, but it was 4-1. They haven't hit a ton in the last few weeks. They certainly did yesterday, albeit in a losing cause. So maybe you carry that over into the best place to hit a baseball in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just want to go out on a high note here going into the All-Star break. I looked this up actually before the show. Last year, the Royals were the second team eliminated from playoff contention. The first, as you can guess, the A's, August 29th. So the fact that, we're going into the All-Star break and the fight for that last wild card spot is so close. As you mentioned, they fell out of, if the playoffs were to end today, they fell out of it yesterday. But, they made up big ground against the Guardians. Going 3-1, that series was massive. As you said, you wish you could take, one or two more against the Rays and kind of leave feeling really good about that 10-game homestand. But another big chance up at the Rockies, up in Denver. And by the way, Scott, that was actually my first non-Kauffman Stadium I've ever been to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, beautiful.
I have actually not been to a game at Coors. I've seen it from the outside.
Yeah.
And
that's downtown baseball.
It is. It's great. And I have, it's sort of I do have a kind of bucket list life's goal to see games, in the home ballparks of all 30 teams. Problem is, some of them keep changing ballparks, so, it's like one step forward, one step back. I've seen a Yankee game, I've seen a Met game, but I've never seen the new Yankee Stadium or Citi Field. I saw the previous parks. But that said, I think that I have seen a home game for, I want to say, 20 of the 30 Major League teams. But I haven't seen one in Coors.
Yeah. See, I went to school 2 hours north of there, so we go down for Rockies games sometimes, so that was a lot of fun. But point aside, be nice to, we mentioned this about the 10-game homestand. You mentioned the 7-3 number, 6-4. For some reason, just kind of feels like, so close to really getting a launching pad of momentum heading into this last week.
Well, especially, they're so much better at home than they are on the road.
Yeah.
And you got 8 games on the road and then the All-Star break. So the last thing you want is to go 2-6 or even 3-5 and then have 5 days off to think about that.
And have a lot of ground to make up.
And have that extra ground to make up. So, you wanted to sort of any positive capital you could put in your back pocket at home. But again, they won 6 of the 10. And let's be clear, the Rockies are terrible. Yes, these next 3 games are on the road, but you see the record there. I mean, 30-57. The Rockies, other than the White Sox, worst team, so they would be the second worst team in baseball, and they're not much better than the White Sox. So, if the Royals get the pitching that they have become accustomed to, and they have their ace, Cole Reagans, tonight, they've got 1, 2, 3 in the rotation, so it lines up. A sweep is certainly not out of the question.
You have Michael Massey back on the defensive side of the ball also, which is huge.
And hit a homer yesterday.
Yeah, that was good to see him. Back in full swing with that back injury. But, big series, 8-game road trip, and then straight into the
All-Star break.
Crazy
where
we're at this point.
We will find out, by the way, on Sunday. It was a shame that neither Bobby Witt nor Salvi got the fan vote. You knew that was coming. You knew they would both finish second. So neither will start, but they'll both be there. It's a slam dunk. So you'll have Bobby Witt Jr., you'll have Salvi. I can't imagine a scenario where Seth Lugo is not an all-star, being the only 11-game winner in the American League and top 5 in ERA. So they're going to have 3 guys. You could make a case for Cole Reagans, but he's 5-6, and even though wins are a stupid stat for pitchers, people still look at him and they put credence in him. So I do believe that even though he's top 10 in ERA, number 2 in the league in strikeouts, My guess is he'll be one of those guys who's left off, plus the Royals have 3 others. But still, having 3 guys in the Midsummer Classic means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun to see those 3 guys if that's what ends up happening.
Yeah. We've talked about this point in the summer. We're waiting for training camp to start. Sporting KC not playing super great. We have the Current playing really well, but this year to be able to talk about Royals baseball in July, still talking about playoff contention is pretty exciting. But
no doubt.
big series starts tonight.
No doubt. Whoops, what? I hang on. Even though we're just about done with it, I can't live with myself if I don't fix this word there. Dang it, I messed up even more. It's not Ryan. It's not Ryan Pepio who plays for the Rays pitching for Kansas City tonight. It is in fact that guy.
There we go.
With the double parentheses. So anyway, you can see there. Advantage Royals, right? Reagan's ERA of just over 3. Kyle Freeland coming off of injury, an ERA of close to 8.
And his name is in all caps as opposed to Freeland.
Well, I did that intentionally just to emphasize, like, hey, this guy's cool. He's better. So
there you go.
Anywho, okay. Moving on.
I'm excited for this one.
The KC Current tomorrow night. A lot of people excited for this one. This is a big game. We've been talking this up for weeks now, just hoping that we still have the unbeaten storyline, which we do. It's the KC Current. It's the Orlando Pride. Both no losses on the season. Both sitting on 35 points, top of the table in the NWSL. The Current, best offensive team in the league. Orlando, best defensive team in the league.
Yeah.
So this should be a ton of fun tomorrow night, and it'll be a packed house at CPKC.
Yeah, I mean, CPKC has been sold out, I think, every game so far this season. It's just been absolutely...
Tomorrow will be overflow.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get tickets to this thing, so it's going to be a lot of fun. As you mentioned, the Current leading the NWSL right now, 39 goals. Orlando has only given up 11 all season long, so I'm really interested to see how this matchup's going to go. Definitely the battle of 2 juggernauts in the NWSL, and potentially 2 teams that we could be seeing facing off later in the year in a very critical matchup.
This could be a finals preview. There's no question.
Yeah, and of course, as we talked about earlier this week, that game is going to be right here in Kansas City. So very exciting.
Yes.
I know there's the little note on the bottom there, which is certainly worth talking about. This week we did find out that Alex Pfeiffer
yes.
is out with an ACL, so that's a season-ending injury. And then Bia has a broken bone in her foot. She'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Pfeiffer has played in 10 games, has a goal in the season. Bia, 10 games, 5 goals, 4 assists, so a big offensive threat. You add the asterisk of, I guess, fortunately 6 to 8 weeks, so we could be seeing her back come a critical part of the season. But those are two big names to note there.
Yeah, Alex Pfeiffer, 16 years old, by the way, youngest player ever to be suited up for the Current. And she plays. I mean, she was getting minutes. Obviously, she was on the pitch when she got hurt in the Portland game. Had already scored a really nice goal in that game, only to have a very late offside call wipe it off. So it was sort of like adding injury to insult, right? She loses the goal, and then 5 minutes later tears her ACL, and she's out for the year. So that was a bummer. Bia much more significant, but again, if there's any team in the league that can withstand the loss of that kind of firepower for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, you have an NWSL record, 17 different players who have scored on this team. But again, this is the biggest regular season. You and I were talking before the show. Is it fair to say this is the biggest regular season game in NWSL history for the Current? I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean in the 2.5-year history of this team.
You're top of the table. Right? You got another undefeated team. You're at home in front of a sellout crowd. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I know our Neil Jones will be there before and after the game all day long on KCTV5, so tune in for that. But especially tune in if you can't watch it in person, because it's going to be, again, hard to get tickets to this one.
Well, and not only do you have all that, but you have what really will be the pinnacle of tomorrow night's action at halftime will be the 6-minute media game featuring Team Storm, led by yours truly and Jared Kohler, against Team Heartland, led by one Bill Hurlbrink. So, we'll see.
I'll tell you what. So I played in this game last year and the year before.
Yeah, you were a conspicuous absence from the roster.
I played in it the last 2 years, and you hear 6 minutes, and you think, 6 minutes, there's barely... No, 6 minutes is an eternity. It makes you really wonder, like, how do
On
you
a full-size
how do you
soccer
play an
pitch.
entire? It's unbelievable. So kind of before the game, the media members, we played at Children's Mercy Park, and we were back in the tunnels, and all the different media members from different television, radio, and print outlets were all together, and we're having this conversation of like, oh my gosh, 6 minutes, like that's kind of quick, blah blah blah. By the time we were done, we all gathered together to take a group picture. Our collective breath was like shattering. It's unbelievable, but it's a lot of fun.
But here's the thing.
There's always a good blooper, too.
I mean, I'm a good 3 years older than you are. If I can run for the 6 minutes, well, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think I just kind of missed the deadline this year, but I'll be excited to root you guys on, and I'm fingers crossed for. There's always a good blooper that makes the
yes, and
somewhere,
hopefully it does not involve yours truly.
One of ours truly.
Yeah. No, my strategy is to.
And you guys are going to be playing in front of a sold out.
Oh
like
yeah,
11,000
no,
people.
no doubt, no. So my strategy is to do absolutely nothing for the first 4 minutes and 45 seconds,
There you go.
and then when
then
everybody
turn
else
it
is,
on. Yeah. So it's
Right,
funny too
that's
is
it.
when I was playing, Brenda Van Langen, who does play-by-play.
She's
for
playing
ESPN.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, she was the team captain when I was playing, and I remember someone on our team scored, and we all started running towards Brenda, and we're like, "Yay!" And she's like pointing the other way, like, "Go!" And we're like, "What? And she's like, "We're still playing. Like, you don't get to stop and celebrate in this sport." So it's a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. I think I'm rooting for Bill, though. I think I'm going for Team Heartland. You're on Storm.
Seriously?
I'm going for Team Heartland.
All right, how do I X her box? I can make this
Bye,
black.
everybody.
Where's the eject button on my master panel
My little
here?
seat here.
Wow. That is the worst thing ever. You have two members of your sports department, and you're rooting for Bill
I'm
Horrible.
pulling for Bill. I have a lot of faith in Bill this year. Maybe not pulling for, but banking on. If I was a betting man, I'm going for.
I don't know. Jared's a force to be reckoned with in these games.
He does. He plays very competitive softball, so he's.
Which means he must be.
The bar is very low, but it'll be a lot of fun. Great day, and obviously punctuated by a fun halftime.
Yes. I just hope that I'm still upright and in charge of all my limbs
That's
when the
if
second
you get
half
out
rolls
of that
around,
thing
right?
with no injury, you won.
Yeah, I went out today and I kicked the ball around
Did you?
with Cody, my 13-year-old, just to get loose, get warmed up. Felt good. All right, so we know Marleah will not be playing soccer, but apparently you will be playing volleyball.
I am.
Is that tonight or tomorrow?
It's tonight.
Tonight.
I'm in a sand volleyball league with actually one of my college teammates. My college basketball teammates lives in town, and she texted me and said, "Hey, do you want to join this league?" And it's at Shawnee Mission Beach, and we are defeated. So we've played 3 weeks. We lost twice, and there was a rain out on one. So tonight's our night. Very excited. This is actually, Scott, you'll think this is kind of funny.
I already do.
You can just stop now. I played Division I basketball. And then had a couple shoulder surgeries and things, and now we'll just mainly, walk or lift a little bit or do yoga. This is the first competition I have done since I played college basketball.
Wow.
The first competitive, anything I've done.
Wow.
So, getting back into it. It's a weird emotion being, competitive again, but it's a lot of fun.
Here's the question now. You have, I've seen the scar. You got a shoulder thing that is no joke.
Yeah.
That is your right shoulder, is that correct?
My right shoulder, yeah.
As I understand it, hitting a volleyball requires certain motions that
if one were to spike, I imagine that would be difficult. What's funny, too, is I mentioned we're defeated. We have 3 Division I basketball players on that team, a Division II baseball player. We have all college athletes, so it doesn't translate
and
well.
haven't won a game.
So that translates to your media game as well. We'll see how it goes. But... just a fun thing to do in the summer. And, I was talking to some other sports media folks at Chris Jones' camp last week, and we were kind of saying, this is the calm before the storm. All the media members, are taking their vacation and doing kind of some fun things because in 11 days, once training camp starts, it is going to be full speed ahead. And then there's really no break. We got preseason games. We're rolling right into the season. So this next week and a half is kind of the last exhale before we're rolling into another football season.
Which is why I'm going to Vegas for 3 days next week.
That
and Big 12 Media Days. By the way, Have you, not that you would have, but they've actually talked about it on the news. I was going to say, have you seen the forecast for Las Vegas next week?
No.
Perhaps you've heard something about this heat wave in the western part of the country that is rolling in there this weekend. Last I checked, and I'm going to get the update here because I want to make sure I get it correct. But Vegas, which is always hot in the summer, and I go with a buddy of mine every summer, and usually it's, 106 degrees. It's hot, whatever. The forecast for next week, Sunday's forecast, 116.
What?
116 degrees.
So we started this show by saying that we were going to reflect on some Las Vegas memories, but the 145-day
That's
anniversary.
true. We sort of brought it back, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And I'm going to end on it, too, because when we went to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl, we left, I think, the Sunday before the Super Bowl, and then we had a full week there. How many of us went? I think 9 of us went.
Right. 4 of us in the first group, and then 5
5
more
on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I did not pack a single jacket, and it was freezing. It was so cold in Las Vegas. So, yeah, that place.
Yeah, see, it's the misnomer, desert, must be hot. Like, no, not in February.
We
in
were
winter,
shivering all week long.
Vegas, a lot of days, high of 44. It's not warm. Yeah, so... Next time, read the brochure next time. It's in the fine print.
I have this thing on my phone where I probably could have figured that out before I left. But
technology, it's crazy.
Such is life.
Yeah.
Well, and we were going from Baltimore, too, so I was like, finally,
right.
somewhere warm.
Relative to Baltimore, it was not cold. All right. Well, hey, there you go. Time for the weekend.
All right.
Yeah, so good luck in the beach volleyball game.
Good luck in your media game.
Thank you.
All jokes aside, hopefully we come back on the show on Monday and we all have victories.
One of us will not be here Monday, but
that's true. Yeah. Well, I expect you to report back.
I will
the
report
result.
back. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for checking out KC Sports Tonight. I'll see you on the 6 o'clock news.